What's up, y'all? I just saw Backrooms, the new A24 movie based on the internet creepypasta that was on YouTube. It's like a found footage series by this guy named Kane Parsons, also known as Kane Pixels. He's the youngest director in A24 history to direct a feature film. And this is his premiere based on his YouTube series, which was a huge hit, when it was released. Now, I'm not super familiar with Backrooms. I've heard of it, and when this movie came out, I did try to go watch some of the YouTube, but I don't know. Maybe I need to go try again or something. It didn't super land for me when I first tried to watch it, but I still was really interested in seeing this movie just because, I love horror movies and I'm always going to go see a horror movie. So I was interested in seeing this. I went and saw it, and the premise is basically like this guy, he owns a furniture store. It's not doing well from what it looks like it, and he's probably about to sell it, and he eventually finds these back rooms, which are like an endless maze of eerie yellow hallways. Like it's like a liminal space type horror movie. And yeah, let's just get right into it for sure, because there's some things I want to talk about. So I want to start off with the weaknesses, because I actually have pretty mixed feelings on Backrooms overall. For one, I thought the movie was way too lore heavy at times. There were multiple moments when the people in the theater were doing all sorts of oohs and ahs, and I honestly just felt left out. And a lot of the lore completely went over my head, which could be my fault. But I do think a movie can have deep lore while still being accessible to audiences unfamiliar with it. And that movie did not accomplish that for me. I also thought the movie was a little boring at points. Now, I thought that there was going to be a lot of jump scares. So not that that would scare me, but movies like that tend to get pretty old quickly. But thankfully that was not the case. The atmosphere was definitely unsettling, but I wouldn't call it terrifying. Another issue I had with this movie is this is just my personal opinion. This is another R-rated movie that is rated R for no reason. Similar to another A24 movie that came out earlier this year called Undertone. When I see that a horror movie is rated R, I expect to push limits. And that doesn't mean it has to be insanely grotesque, but I do expect something more intense or disturbing than what's going on in this movie. Honestly, both Undertone and Backrooms could have easily have been PG-13 movies. And if they were marketed that way, then I probably would have adjusted my expectations going in. I also thought the character stories were a little weak. One character lost their wife, the other had a traumatic childhood, and then we have this room that manifests people's traumas and trap them in there, and they become prisoners or copies, or maybe they're killed and cloned. Who really knows? The movie feels stuck between ambiguity and over-explaining itself at the same time. And honestly, I thought the monster was way scarier before they fully showed it. Once I actually saw it, it looked kind of stupid, and it lost all the fear factor. Sometimes the mystery is more effective than the reveal. Now, as far as strengths, I definitely enjoyed the performances in this movie. Sorry, I'm going to butcher their names, but Chiwetel, I'm not even going to try it, but look, both actors in this movie, I thought they gave solid performances, and they helped ground the story emotionally, even when it got a little confusing. But visually, I thought the movie looked great. Everything had this like super crisp, high definition look to it. It almost felt like I was watching the movie on vivid mode the entire time. Normally something like that could be distracting, but I thought it added to the immersion and made the environments feel even stranger and more artificial in a good way. I liked a lot of the room designs. The environments were definitely creative and helped build that unsettling liminal space atmosphere the movie was going for. At the same time, though, I honestly felt like they could have pushed things way further. Some of the rooms were literally just empty spaces with furniture scattered around or sandals stuck in the floor. I kept waiting for the movie to get more disturbing and more imaginative with its environments. And maybe this is just me. I don't know how some people actually found some of these rooms scary. I feel like people have turned on lights in their homes at night and accidentally seen scarier things than some of what this movie was showing. Overall, I thought Backrooms was okay. To me, it was really just a mid-movie that was being carried by its lore and internet popularity. And honestly, that's completely fine. There's clearly a massive audience for this kind of thing. The theater I was in actually gave the movie an ovation when it ended. And it gave it one midway through the movie too, for some reason. And I understand why the fans love it. If you're deeply invested in the Backrooms mythology or you're experiencing the concept for the first time, I could definitely see this movie really working for you. For me, though, I thought it was just okay. I appreciated the atmosphere, the visuals, and performances more than the actual story or horror elements. I'm going to give Backrooms a 5 out of 10. And despite my criticisms, I still recommend checking it out because it's definitely a unique theater experience. I honestly think this might even be one of those movies that could improve on a second watch. Maybe I need to revisit some of the original YouTube videos first and then come back to it with more context. But either way, I think it's worth seeing for yourself. All right, y'all. That's all I got for Backrooms. Be sure to let me know. Let me know what you thought of this movie because I'm pretty sure if you got this far, you definitely have some opinions. I know a lot of people like the YouTube series and everything. So like, subscribe, comment, all that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. And I'll see you on the next one.